there's more to Giada de Laurentiis than many of her fans know. In fact, the celebrity chef has found herself at the center of several scandals, but for some reason, people seem to ignore them. Here are just a few of the controversies about her that have surfaced, and then quickly faded away. By now, it's more or less common knowledge that de Laurentiis doesn't eat most of the food that she cooks when she's on camera. Many sources, including Page 6, have reported on the infamous dump buckets that she keeps on set with her. Apparently, the star will take a bite on screen, then cameras will immediately stop rolling so she can spit out her food. While spit buckets aren't unheard of in Hollywood, de Laurentiis takes it a step further. An unnamed source told the publication in 2014 she does not eat at all while filming.
I don't eat all the pasta. I eat a couple bites of pasta. I don't eat all of it.
In some cases, she would even enlist her assistants to model their mouths and teeth, taking bites of food on her behalf while the camera zoomed in close so that viewers would be unable to tell who was really doing the eating. Not only are de Laurentiis' on-set practices kind of strange, but some might say they also set a bad example, especially for her younger viewers. Another famous television chef who specializes in Italian cuisine, Mario Batali, was one of the Me Too movement's earliest casualties. Batali was the star of Molto Mario, another Food Network hit series. Batali went on to build an empire for himself that included multiple television shows, books, restaurants, and other endeavors. Throughout most of his career, he stayed chummy with his fellow Food Network celebrities, including de Laurentiis. In 2017, all of that changed. Eater broke the story on allegations of Batali's misconduct, and the restaurateur's reputation spiraled out beyond repair. He took a step back from his business ventures, and Target even stopped selling his popular line of Italian-style pasta sauces. So what did his longtime friend and colleague de Laurentiis have to say about the scandal? In an Eater Upsell podcast, she said that the allegations didn't exactly come as much of a shock to her. She went on to explain, "We drink too much. I'm not legitimizing it by any means." In the same podcast, she said that she had experienced instances of sexism throughout her own career, but never outright condemned her former colleagues' conduct. For someone who is a role model to have a sense of Batali's bad behavior and simply call it sad is problematic. But de Laurentiis hasn't been called out for not challenging the behavior. Not only does de Laurentiis apparently spit out her own food, other celebs spit out her food too. In a now infamous segment on Ellen, guest star Nicole Kidman was so grossed out by de Laurentiis' cooking that she literally found it too difficult to swallow. The segment got off to a rough start, with the chef making fun of the actress's supposed lack of cooking skills while they made rice balls together. But when the time came to taste their food, it was de Laurentiis' cooking skills that were on the chopping block. Kidman offered some criticism of the fennel and clementine focaccia that was made during the segment, saying, "It's a little tough. I know you're not meant to criticize, but it's a little tough." She then spit out her bite in true de Laurentiis style. De Laurentiis shot back at Kidman that the reason she doesn't like to do live cooking segments is because her food often has to sit on set for hours during filming.
Have some more wine, it'll take care of the pain.
De Laurentiis' high-profile divorce from designer Todd Thompson put her in the news on multiple occasions. Swirling rumors circulated in the entertainment industry that the marriage ended because of an affair with musician John Mayer. Although de Laurentiis denied the rumors, the New York Daily News notes that a number of publications went live with stories that implied there was something going on between the singer and the chef. De Laurentiis claims that the split with Todd Thompson was amicable, but it's hard not to think that there were probably some hard feelings if de Laurentiis was, in fact, hooking up with Mayer in New York City's Gansevoort Hotel. Given that the location of her supposed affair is suspiciously close to the location of Food Network studios in Chelsea Market, there could be some truth to the rumor. Hollywood insiders have long suspected that de Laurentiis' affairs might not have started and ended with John Mayer. In fact, many people have questioned the nature of her longtime intimate friendship with yet another male Food Network celebrity, Bobby Flay. The two have been frequently seen together looking cozy in public. The website Showbiz Cheat Sheet even has a roundup of some of their most playful Instagram interactions. More than one outlet has implied that things might be heating up between the two, and not just in the kitchen. According to Page 6, de Laurentiis was seen having what the tab described as a boozy night out with Flay just 2 days before she announced her split from Thompson on Facebook. A few months after that, Flay announced his split from his then-wife of 10 years, actress Stephanie March. Several months later, Radar Online claimed that Flay and De Laurentiis were caught on an intimate dinner date expressing PDA and carving their initials into a secret spot on the wall while in the middle of divorcing their respective spouses. Both De Laurentiis and Flay's reps denied the claims, telling E! News in a statement, "Back in December, Giada had dinner with her agent. Bobby Flay was also having dinner with some friends and dropped by Giada's table to say hi. They did not have dinner, nor was there any touching going on." Bobby Flay isn't the only famous coworker De Laurentiis is rumored to have romanced either. There have also been speculations that De Laurentiis was romantically involved with former Today anchor Matt Lauer, citing a cozy-looking dinner meeting in 2013 when Giada and former husband Todd Thompson were still married. But just as quickly as those rumors got started, they seem to have disappeared. Either De Laurentiis has a very talented PR staff or no one really cares all that much about her private affairs. In yet another case of bad role model behavior, it turns out that De Laurentiis is a sore loser, at least every now and then. Even though she and fellow chef Bobby Flay have been friends since the early stages of both their careers, De Laurentiis was pretty upset after the pair lost a team cooking competition. In a 2006 Iron Chef America battle, De Laurentiis teamed up with Flay to battle another TV power duo, Rachel Ray and Mario Batali. De Laurentiis and Flay ended up on the losing side, and afterwards, De Laurentiis refused to speak to Flay for around 8 months, according to People magazine. The reason for the extra-long silent treatment? It wasn't just that Giada was upset that they lost the battle. It was that Bobby Flay had the audacity to laugh it off and take it in stride. She admitted on a podcast, "He didn't think it was any big deal that we lost. I did not talk to him for 8 months. 8 months. I did not. Nothing. Silence." The Daily Mail reports that after the Food Network decided to end its relationship with Paula Deen, they replaced her show's time slots with episodes of De Laurentiis' shows. In case you missed it, Deen was canceled back in 2013 after repeated instances of racism and workplace discrimination were brought to light. Although Paula Deen has repeatedly denied the allegations, she did admit to using a racial slur. Reuters reports that brands from Food Network to Walmart were planning to stop promoting her work. Although many viewers were happy with the network's decision to part ways with the former TV queen of Southern cuisine, Deen's loyal fans thought it was De Laurentiis' responsibility to stand up for her former coworker. Instead, the celebrity chef largely stayed silent on the matter, telling Access Hollywood hosts that she didn't have anything to do with the Food Network's scheduling change. Recently, many white chefs and food personalities have come under fire for cultural appropriation. Although she hasn't made headlines for appropriating recipes and ingredients from other cultures, De Laurentiis hasn't fully escaped the criticism either. Filipina food blogger Sarah Lynn Pablo was shocked when a friend called, telling her to tune in to the latest episode of Giada at Home, where the chef was making Filipino chicken adobo as part of a spread titled The Big Game. As the episode was ostensibly about the kinds of finger food typically associated with watching sports at home, Pablo wonders why the Italian host chose a saucy dish that's practically impossible to eat with your hands. The blogger wrote, "How about serving lumpia, either fried or fresh? Those are Filipino finger foods that actually make sense for serving at the big game." She then went on to say that not only did De Laurentiis use incorrect ingredients and serve the main dish without rice as it's intended, she didn't even give any background to the dish, like she does when preparing Italian food. Pablo continued, "Give the proper historical and contemporary context. Don't exoticize, fetishize, or just don't go there at all." Although De Laurentiis has many fans, it seems like the celebrity doesn't really like them sometimes. The New York Daily News reported that she wishes she could reject some of her more touchy-feely fans.
You're breathing down my neck, though. Could you give me some room?
Dealing with overly enthusiastic fans is part and parcel with being a celebrity. It's perfectly reasonable not to want to be constantly hugged by strangers, and it's hard to blame her for that. But she could also just be upfront with her admirers. Respecting personal boundaries is 100% a thing. Like Food and Wine states in their response, saying, "Everybody just stop touching De Laurentiis, okay?" Instead, she apparently forces a smile and deals with it in the moment, then lets the press in on her true feelings. Now more than ever, fans want to follow celebrities and influencers who have a strong sense of authenticity. Back to the chef's eating habits, because when you're an international food personality, you really are what you eat. So what does she actually consume when the cameras aren't rolling? Even though the answer is fairly odd, it's not something that gets much attention. According to Delish, she starts every day with a bowl of brown rice, topped with olive oil and salt. When a bowl of more or less plain rice is followed up by salad and the occasional Triscuit, De Laurentiis' diet starts to sound less like a fulfilling day of eating and more like deprivation. The celebrity chef claims that one of her favorite lunchtime eats is a Triscuit topped with provolone, mortadella, and peppers as a riff on a muffaletta sandwich. As anyone who has actually eaten a muffaletta can tell you, the two things are not the same. You would think fans could at least rely on De Laurentiis' expertise as a chef and television host to provide them with an awesome at-home cookware line, right? Well, not necessarily. Following at least 39 unique reports of dangerous breakage during regular use, the ceramic lasagna pan that was sold both individually and as part of a 6-piece set for the De Laurentiis for Target line, Target was forced to recall the product in 2013, according to the Consumer Product Safety Commission. Perhaps the fault lies with the fact that since De Laurentiis doesn't actually seem to eat lasagna, it stands to reason that she might not cook it at home very often. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more mashed videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.